Hello friends, I am going to make a goody today. So over the years I was kind of known for my meatballs. I'm not going to show you the whole starting of the sauce because I've already canned my own tomato sauce for the season. So the next time I do that I will show you, but today I'm going to show you what I do for meatballs, and I have gotten compliment after compliment all my life on my meatballs, and I don't do anything special, but I do a few things that might be different. So if you can learn something from this, please send me a comment, a message, like the video, share the video. The more I get myself out there, the better I'm helping people, and you're helping me too. You wouldn't believe the feedback that helps me. So what I'm going to start with is, this is grass-fed. Do you remember hearing about grass-fed versus junk-fed? I mean, I don't. So I try to do better. This nose of mine is running. I'm freezing. I'm in a fleece. We're in the Northeast, and I'm already freezing, and it's only October, and my nose is running. I'm sorry. I digress. So grass-fed beef is something that I've been trying to do. We don't eat a lot of beef, so I try to make it better quality than what we do eat. But years ago, I never heard of these things, organic grass-fed beef, but they say it's better for us, so I have 1 pound. Again, Dave doesn't eat meatballs. He doesn't like tomato sauce, so I made sausage and peppers. We're all on the same day here. So I did sausage and peppers on the side, and now I'm cutting this package open, and they're gross. So I'm going to get down and dirty with this meat. Me and it are going to have a fight, and I plan to win the fight. So I'm going to put that pound of meat, hopefully you can see in the food. I'm trying to do as much as I can without touching it yet. Can you see? You can. Okay. Before I get real dirty, I didn't want to touch my camera. I'm going to move you down just a little. The problem is if I put it down in the food, sometimes you can't hear me good. This is, high tech here. With this meat, a pound of meat is in there. I don't do much. Over here in my crock pot, I have my sauce. It's obviously hot. So I do not brown my meatballs. I do not bake them in the oven. I make my balls and drop them directly in my sauce. They do all their cooking in their sauce. That's the first thing that I know a lot of people do different than me. I love the way it comes out. They come out more tender. No, they're not browned in. Don't get me wrong. I'll eat a meatball that's browned any day of the week. I love meatballs if they're homemade and they're made right. I don't do a lot of stuff to it. I do something weird to it though. First thing, while it's naked meat, I'm going to do a little salt and pepper. So you notice I said to you I don't like salt. And I don't. I cook with salt, but I don't ever add salt at the end of a meal. Like, you'll never see me, maybe for a baked potato you would. A little salt with my butter or whatever. But you'll never see me having a lot of salt on stuff. But I do cook with salt to give it flavor, and then I'm done with salt. Salt goes away. He takes a nap. Here's my recipe for my meatballs. It's not, oh, I forgot to get an egg out. So dumb. I try to get everything out. Okay. So the hardest part of making a video is dirtying all these little damn dishes that I have to clean when we're all done. Because normally I'm just a cook that throws everything in. And I don't sit and have a half a cup of this measured or a quarter cup of that measured. So this is like the first time in my whole life I've ever measured to make my meatballs. But I do know 1 egg. So I'm going to crack that egg right in there. Luckily, no shells went. I have a tiny little spatula. I'm just whipping it around a tiny bit. Before I make that naked meat anything more, I put a quarter cup of Parmesan right in to my meat. I also put a quarter cup of a diced onion. I like onions in my meatballs. I do. I like onions. Here's the difference. Now here's where it gets down and dirty. This is about 1/3 of a cup of my homemade tomato sauce. I put it in my mixture. I don't know, it gives so much flavor. Some people put a little dab of ketchup in their meatloaf, or sometimes you put tomato sauce in your meatloaf, like regular tomato sauce in a can. See what I mean by the dirty dishes? I don't ever have that. And then 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. Now I used whole wheat because that's what I use now. The spatula's gonna go away. And the best, see, I haven't even had my rings on, but you know what? I don't even know where I took them off. I never take my rings off, but last week I took them off to do a concrete ball. And today I took them off to do meatballs on camera and wash my hands before I started. So you literally are just gonna do the thing, do the deed. You're gonna get in there and fight with this meat. I try not to make it tough, so I kind of spin it around and press my knuckles, pressing the goodies stuff into it. When I get all the Jimmy Jam stuff all flavored up into the meat, I don't like to make them hard, so I don't squeeze it. Like, I don't make it with my, I can't make a fist anyway, my hand's not even bending right. Everything hurts on these hands of mine. So, you know, you buy those squeeze balls for therapy. I've got these ring things you squeeze for therapy. I sleep with arthritic gloves. It's a show, I'll tell you, this aging stuff. So that's about, I didn't put anything special. The Parmesan cheese and the sauce goes in the meat. If I had fresh parsley, I'd put that in. I do not add garlic. Wouldn't you believe? I've done it with garlic, and I've done it with fresh garlic, and then the garlic takes over. I've done it with garlic powder. For my regular meatballs, I like them to have the sauce, the parm, a little bit of onion, salt and pepper. I try to make them, I don't have a scooper. I do have a scooper. I have 15 scoopers, but I just kind of make my ball, make them nice and round, just like that, and I drop them in my sauce. And then cook it on, this is going to cook in a crock pot, so I'll do high 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, and put it on some pasta tomorrow. I'm going to cook the sauce today and get the meatballs done because I'll have my 4-year-old here tomorrow, and we'll have spaghetti and meatballs for dinner, tossed salad, and tomorrow's what, Wednesday, and I have a fresh loaf of Italian bread to make him a little garlic bread. He loves garlic bread, and that's going to be dinner. Now I can't shut you off because I'm in the middle of making meatballs, so let's talk. What do you want to talk about besides meatballs? I can't push that button. I have to work fast, I guess. So it makes about a dozen for 1 pound. So if you're serving a big family, you know, obviously I would, when my kids were little and I had 4 of us at home that ate spaghetti meatballs, I guess I meal prepped my whole life when I look back, because on Sundays, I used to work Monday through Friday during the day, full time. I always worked Monday nights. Back in the day, I worked in a really nice restaurant in Johnstown. Monday night, I was the only waitress. I had the whole place, and I used to do really well. And I would work Friday and Saturday nights, too. Friday, Saturday, Monday. So I waitressed 3 nights a week, worked full-time during the day. And on Saturdays mornings, I would grocery shop. That's back in the day before we had grocery pickup and delivery. We didn't have anything. We had tag you're it. So I'd go and get the whole entire car filled with stuff for the week. We had 2 kids, and we had a lot of neighborhood kids come over. In fact, if Bobby V is watching, one night I got a text at midnight from him saying, he called me El Cheeks. My name is Lori, and he called me El Cheeks. That was his nickname for me. He's like, El Cheeks, I'm dreaming about your meatballs. And it was midnight, and it was since I've been married to Dave, so it was in the last 8 years, and this guy's, I don't know, he's 43 years old now, so I guess my meatballs were good back then. Where was I going with this? Oh, so I would grocery shop Saturday mornings, and on Sunday, I used to make like 4 meals for during the week. I told you how I didn't take the kids and eat out. They were always heavily involved in sports and dance and, you know, whatever I was running back and forth with them. So during the week, I would come home from work, and we would have a pot of sauce I'd heat up and just have to make spaghetti, or a pot of chili, or a pot of stew, or baked ziti, or lasagna, or you know, whatever I had prepped for the week. So this way, it would give me a little bit of a head start. There's my dirty dishes. That's not bad. It would give me a little bit of a head start on what I had to do in a day. So I'd work during the day, come home, take something out of the fridge that I made Sunday for, say, Tuesday, and then we'd go off to sports or whatever I had to do from them with them. So meatballs are in the crock pot. Let's see, I made 12 meatballs. They're in the sauce. I'm going to boil them on high in that sauce for like 3 hours and turn it off. And then I do like to do My fingers are still full of stuff here. I do like to put cheese right on top of that. I'm not making a lot because it really is for just a meal for tomorrow. And if I was making for a whole bunch of people, obviously 1 pound of meat's not going to cut the mustard. So does this help you? I hope so. My meatballs are simple. Parmesan cheese. The sauce goes in the meatball, the same sauce that it cooks in. Fresh onion, an egg, breadcrumbs, salt and pepper. Make your ball, drop it in your sauce, let it cook. If you're going to do it on the stove, have your stove come to a rolling boil and drop your meatballs right in there. I did see one little Italian lady on Instagram. She does it just like me, drops it into boiling sauce. Don't get me wrong, I've browned them, I've cast iron skilleted them, I've baked them, I've done them all different ways, and there isn't a meatball that comes out bad. This is just easier, and they come out really super tender. Try it. Tell me if you like it, if you do, or if you don't. Tell me what you add in it. Tell me something. I love you guys. Please, this is fun. Thank you. Have a great day.